The world is a stage, and you've been playing a role that isn't yours, bending your soul to fit the fleeting applause of others. But deep within, a fire burns a voice that whispers, "You were born for more than being liked, more than fading into the crowd's approval." Stop trying to be liked. Start becoming undeniable. This is not a call to please or conform. It is a summons to rise, to forge a destiny, so powerful, so authentic, that the world cannot look away. When you choose to be undeniable, you shatter the chains of validation, you claim the life you were born to live, and the universe itself leans in, aligning its forces with the unshakable truth of your purpose. This is no ordinary moment. It is the turning point of your existence, the line between a life shaped by others' opinions and one forged by your own conviction. Napoleon Hill, a man who unlocked the secrets of achievement, taught that greatness begins with a decision, a burning resolve to stand for something, to be something regardless of who approves. Seeking to be liked is a trap, a thief that steals your power, diluting your dreams with the weight of external validation. But becoming undeniable is a revolution, a choice to root your worth in purpose, not praise. When you make that choice, you ignite a force within you that no rejection, no doubt, no disapproval can extinguish. Think of Thomas Edison, a man whose relentless pursuit of innovation defied the world's skepticism. He wasn't chasing applause when he toiled through 10,000 failures to birth the light bulb. He was driven by a vision that outshone the naysayers. The crowd mocked, the critics scoffed, but Edison didn't try to be liked. He became undeniable. His work a testament to a soul that refused to bend. His decision reshaped the world, not because he was universally adored, but because he was unshakably himself. Your journey, too, begins with this truth. The world doesn't need your conformity, it needs your fire, your truth, your undeniable essence. The battlefield of your life starts in your mind, where every thought is a soldier in the war for your destiny. Hill taught that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Your mindset is the forge where you craft an unshakable belief in your worth, where you reject the lie that being liked defines your value. Seeking approval is a prison, whispering that you must dim your light to fit in, that your dreams must wait for others' permission. But a mindset on becoming undeniable is a fortress guarding against the noise of criticism, the pull of conformity, the fear of standing alone. Choose your thoughts with conviction. Fill them with visions of greatness, with truths that anchor your soul. Consider Abraham Lincoln, a man whose awkward demeanor and string of failures made him an unlikely candidate for adoration. He wasn't chasing the crowd's affection when he stood for justice, when he led a divided nation through its darkest hour. His belief in a higher purpose, in the truth of his mission, made him undeniable even as critics tore at him. His mindset wasn't swayed by the need to be liked. It was rooted in a vision that moved mountains. Your mind, too, is a battlefield, and your choice to believe in your purpose, despite the world's applause or scorn, sets the stars in motion, aligning your path with the infinite. Clarity is the torch that lights your way through the haze of external validation. Becoming undeniable requires you to see, to know the truth of who you are and the legacy you're called to build. What is the vision that stirs your soul? What is the purpose that burns brighter than the need for approval? Clarity is not about pleasing others. It is about defining your own path, cutting through the fog of what the world expects. Walt Disney, often dismissed as a dreamer, held a clarity so sharp it defied rejection and bankruptcy. He didn't chase the crowd's approval. He built a world of wonder that forced the world to see him. His clarity made him undeniable, and heaven moved to bring his vision to life. You too must forge this clarity. Strip away the clutter, the voices that demand you, conform the fears that beg you to shrink, the distractions that pull you from your truth. In the stillness, ask the hard questions. Who am I called to be? What am I here to create? What truth will I stand for, no matter who approves? Write it down. Speak it aloud. Let it become a flame that no criticism can snuff out. This is not a casual act. It is a sacred ritual, a moment when you align your soul with your purpose. When you choose clarity over the need to be liked, you become a force the world cannot ignore, and the universe answers, guiding your steps toward the undeniable. The need to be liked will never fully vanish. It is a shadow that lingers, a voice that tempts you to soften your edges, to trade your truth for acceptance. But becoming undeniable is about choosing your purpose over that temptation, about standing tall in the face of rejection. Hill's principle of definiteness of purpose teaches us that clarity and conviction are the antidotes to the pull of approval, not by silencing it, but by overpowering it with a vision so compelling it drowns out the noise. When you decide to be undeniable, you tap into a power greater than yourself, Hill's infinite intelligence, the force that flows through those who dare to stand alone. You are not alone in this fight. The moment you choose to be undeniable, you join a lineage of those who refused to bend, those who, like you, chose purpose over popularity, truth over validation. Surround yourself with those who see your fire, who fuel your clarity, who challenge you to stand firm. These are not just allies, they are your mastermind, your co-creators in the spiritual war. Together, you amplify your decision, turning a spark into a blaze, a vision into reality. Stop trying to be liked. Start becoming undeniable. Choose your truth. Claim your purpose. Ignite your destiny. And watch as heaven moves to meet the fire of your soul, unyielding and unstoppable. The fire of your decision to be undeniable rages, a radiant force that burns away the need for approval and lights the path to a destiny only you can claim. But it is your vision that gives this fire form, that shapes the raw energy of your choice into a future so vivid, so unyielding, it commands the world's respect. Your vision is not a vague hope or a plea for validation. It is a bold, unshakable picture of the life you were born to create, a truth that stands tall, whether the crowd cheers or turns away. Stop trying to be liked. Start becoming undeniable. And let your vision be the beacon that silences the noise of conformity. When you choose this path, the heavens stir, aligning their forces with the unapologetic truth of your purpose. Napoleon Hill taught that a definite chief aim, a clear burning vision, is the foundation of all greatness. Without it, your efforts scatter like dust swayed by the whims of others' opinions. With it, every step becomes a deliberate act, every choice a stroke on the canvas of your legacy. Think of Henry Ford, a man whose vision wasn't just to build cars, but to transform how humanity moved. The world didn't always like him. Critics mocked banks, rejected skeptics, scoffed, but Ford didn't chase their approval. His vision was his anchor, his truth undeniable, and heaven moved through his factories, his innovations, his refusal to bend. Your vision too is a force, a divine call, that the need to be liked cannot dim. Your vision must be fierce, vivid, uncompromised. It is not enough to dream. You must see. Close your eyes and paint the future. The impact you'll make, the lives you'll touch, the truth you'll stand for. See it in blazing detail, the colors of your triumph, the pulse of your purpose, the weight of your legacy. This is not fantasy. It is a spiritual act, a moment when you align your soul with the infinite. Hill's principle of autosuggestion urges you to feed your mind with this vision, to let it become so real it drowns out the clamor of approval-seeking. Your vision is your sword, your shield, your sacred vow to be undeniable no matter who watches. Purpose is the soul of your vision, the unyielding why that gives it life. A vision without purpose is a picture without meaning, a fire without fuel. Purpose is the truth that keeps you standing when the crowd turns cold, the reason you rise when the world expects you to shrink. Consider Marie Curie, A woman whose purpose wasn't to win praise, but to unveil the universe's secrets for humanity's good. The world didn't always like her poverty, skepticism, and rejection shadowed her path, but she didn't seek their approval. Her purpose was her North Star, her truth undeniable, and heaven moved through her discoveries. Her courage, her legacy. Your purpose, too, is a sacred mission, a call to stand for something greater than the fleeting need to be liked. What is your purpose? It is not found in the applause of others or the shallow rewards of popularity. It is found in the quiet of your soul, in the moments when you feel most alive, most connected to a truth beyond yourself. Ask, what am I here to do? What truth will I defend? What impact will I leave? The answers may come slowly, but they are there waiting to be claimed. Your purpose is not just a goal. It is a vow, a reason to be undeniable even when the world withholds its praise. When you live for this purpose, you align with the infinite and heaven moves to meet your unshakable resolve. Discipline is the steel that forges your vision and purpose into reality. It is not about pleasing others, but about honoring the truth within you, about showing up when the crowd's approval fades, about acting when the world offers no applause. Hill wrote that discipline is the master key to all achievement, the choice to prioritize your purpose over the comfort of conformity. Think of J.K. Rowling, a woman who wrote through poverty, rejection, and obscurity. She didn't chase the world's affection. She disciplined herself to her story, to her truth, to her undeniable vision. Her yes to discipline moved heaven, turning a dream into a world that captivated millions. You too must forge this discipline. The world is a siren luring you with the ease of validation, likes, followers, fleeting praise. But your destiny demands more. It demands the courage to work when others rest, to create when others conform, to stand alone when others seek the crowd. Discipline is not a burden. It is liberation, a sacred act of honoring the vision you've claimed. Every small act of discipline, every hour spent, every truth defended is a victory, a signal to the universe that you are undeniable. When you act with discipline, heaven moves, aligning the stars with the fire of your purpose, making your truth impossible to ignore. The battlefield is unforgiving. It will test your vision with rejection, your purpose with silence, your discipline with distraction. The need to be liked will linger, whispering that approval is safer, that conformity is easier. But your destiny doesn't wait for the crowd's applause. It waits for your truth. Hill's principle of persistence teaches us that every challenge is a chance to reaffirm your decision, to prove your commitment to being undeniable. When you falter, recommit. When the world ignores you, keep going. When doubt creeps in, discipline your mind to your vision. These are not weaknesses. They are the forge where your undeniable self is shaped. The blaze of your decision to be undeniable surges a radiant force that carves through the fog of approval seeking and illuminates the path to your destiny. But it is action that fuels this fire, that turns the spark of your vision into a force so powerful it commands the world's attention. Your purpose is clear, your discipline forged yet without action. They remain shadows unclaimed, truths fading under the weight of hesitation. Stop trying to be liked. Start becoming undeniable, and let your actions speak a truth louder than any applause. When you move, you don't just defy the crowd's expectations. You align your soul with the infinite. And heaven moves not as a bystander, but as a co-creator in your unyielding pursuit. Action is not about waiting for the crowd's approval or the perfect moment. It is about stepping forward with a truth so authentic, it drowns out the need to be liked. The world will tempt you to pause to seek validation before you begin to polish your efforts until they please everyone. But your destiny doesn't wait for perfection or permission. It waits for your movement, bold and unapologetic. Think of the Wright brothers Orville and Wilbur standing on the wind-swept sands of Kitty Hawk, their dream of flight dismissed by a world that craved conformity. They didn't seek applause, they acted building, crashing, rebuilding. Their action was their truth, undeniable in its resolve, and heaven moved through their wings, lifting humanity beyond the earth. Your actions, too, are your declaration, a force that makes your purpose impossible to ignore. You must act with the same defiance. The crowd's approval is a fickle wind, shifting with every whim. But your truth is a mountain unshaken by their cheers or silence. Start now. Take the first step. Speak your truth. Build your dream. Each action is a brick in the monument of your destiny, a signal to the universe that you are committed to being undeniable. When you move, heaven responds not with judgment, but with momentum, weaving opportunities, clearing paths, aligning the stars to your purpose. Your action is your rebellion, your proof that the need to be liked will not define you, that your truth will stand alone. Gratitude is the sacred lens that magnifies your action, the force that transforms effort into impact. It is not a nod to the crowd's approval, but a profound choice to see the abundance in every step, to honor the journey itself over the fleeting praise of others. Napoleon Hill taught that gratitude aligns your spirit with the infinite, drawing to you the strength and wisdom needed to become undeniable. When you give thanks for the courage to act, for the lessons in your failures, for the fire in your soul, you shift your fight from striving to thriving. You turn setbacks into growth, rejection into resolve, and the silence of the crowd into a sacred space for your truth. Consider Oprah Winfrey, a woman who faced a world that often withheld its approval. Poverty, rejection, and skepticism shadowed her path. Yet she chose gratitude, giving thanks for every opportunity, every challenge, every moment of growth. She didn't chase the crowd's affection. She acted with a heart full of truth, and her gratitude made her undeniable, a beacon for millions. Heaven moved through her voice, her vision, her unyielding commitment to her purpose. Your gratitude, too, is a force, a sacred current that amplifies every action, turning small steps into seismic shifts, making your truth resonate beyond the need for validation. This gratitude is a daily rebellion, a choice to find joy in the fight, to see value in the journey, not the applause. Pause in the midst of your action. Reflect on the ground you've gained, the truths you've claimed, the person you're becoming. Be thankful for the fire in your heart, the purpose in your soul, the chance to stand for something greater than approval. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Let gratitude be the pulse of your steps, the rhythm that drowns out the crowd's fleeting cheers. It is not enough to act. You must act with a heart that sees the infinite in every moment, and in that seeing you align with a force that makes you undeniable. Adaptability is the art of dancing with the battlefield's shifting tides. Your destiny is not a straight path, but a living river winding through unexpected turns, rushing over unseen obstacles. Stop trying to be liked. Start becoming undeniable by bending without breaking, pivoting without losing your truth. Hill taught that those who become great are those who see change as an ally, a chance to refine their purpose, to grow stronger in their resolve. When you choose to be undeniable, you commit to a vision, but the world will test your flexibility, demanding you adapt while staying rooted in your truth. Think of Steve Jobs, a man whose path was marked by rejection, failure, and exile from the company he built. The crowd didn't always like him. His ideas were mocked, his methods questioned, but he didn't seek their approval. He adapted, reimagining his vision, aligning his truth with a changing world. His adaptability made him undeniable, and heaven moved through his creations, reshaping how humanity dreams. Your destiny, too, demands adaptability. When plans falter, pivot. When rejection stings, learn. When the crowd turns away, refine your truth. The need to be liked may whisper that change is failure, but your adaptability proves it wrong, turning obstacles into stepping stones for your undeniable purpose. The battlefield tests your action, your gratitude, your adaptability. The crowd's approval will tempt you to conform. Rejection will challenge your resolve. Change will demand your growth. But your destiny doesn't wait for validation. It waits for your truth. Hill's principle of persistence reminds us that every setback is a chance to reaffirm your decision, to prove you're undeniable. When you stumble, act with gratitude. When change comes, adapt with conviction. These are not failures. They are the forge where your truth is sharpened, where your actions become unignorable. You are not alone in this fight. Your decision to be undeniable connects you to a force greater than yourself. Hill's infinite intelligence, the energy that flows through those who stand for truth. Surround yourself with those who amplify your gratitude, who share your adaptability, who challenge you to rise above the need for approval. These are your mastermind, your allies in the spiritual war, your co-creators in a life of purpose. Together, you become a force that shakes the heavens, a tide that shapes reality. Your destiny is calling. Act with truth. Give thanks with conviction. Adapt with purpose. And watch as heaven moves not just for you, but through you for the undeniable legacy you were born to claim. The battlefield of your life is a crucible where the fires of rejection burn and the clamor of disapproval echoes. Yet it is here that your decision to be undeniable forges a truth that cannot be shaken. Your actions have sparked a movement. Your gratitude has lit the way. Your purpose is clear. But the path to your destiny is rugged, demanding resilience to rise above failure, learning to grow through every trial and faith, to trust in a vision the crowd cannot see. Stop trying to be liked. Start becoming undeniable, a force so rooted in your truth that no rejection, no silence, no setback can dim your light. When you stand firm, seek wisdom, and believe beyond the world's applause, you align with the infinite, and heaven moves not as a spectator, but as a partner in your sacred fight. Resilience is the pulse of your undeniable truth, the unyielding spirit that lifts you from the ashes of defeat. Rejection will sting, failure will test, and the crowd's indifference will weigh heavy, tempting you to seek their approval once more. But resilience is your defiance, your refusal to let the world's judgment define your worth. Napoleon Hill taught that every adversity carries the seed of a greater opportunity, a hidden truth, waiting for those who dare to rise again. Your resilience is the courage to find that seed, the strength to plant it, the will to nurture it into triumph. It is not about escaping pain, but about forging a soul that shines brighter through every scar. Consider Nelson Mandela, a man who faced decades of imprisonment, his truth mocked by a world that demanded conformity. The crowd didn't always cheer him. Rejection and isolation shadowed his path, but he didn't chase their approval. He chose resilience, rising through hardship, standing firm in his truth. His undeniable spirit moved heaven, reshaping a nation and inspiring millions. Your resilience, too, is a force, a testament to a soul that refuses to be dimmed by failure or the need to be liked. When you rise, you signal to the universe that your truth is unshakable, and heaven moves to meet your relentless heart. You will fall. The path to your purpose is not a gentle slope, but a jagged climb strewn with obstacles that demand you grow stronger to overcome them. But each stumble is a chance to reaffirm your decision, each wound a mark of your fight. Resilience is not about denying failure, but about embracing it as a teacher, a forge that sharpens your truth. When you choose to be undeniable, you commit to this reality. No rejection is final, no silence is fatal. You rise because your purpose is worth it, because your truth is undeniable, because your destiny demands your unwavering resolve. Every time you stand again, you proclaim your commitment, and heaven aligns with your courage. Learning is the compass that guides your resilience through the battlefield's chaos. Your destiny doesn't wait for the crowd's approval. It waits for you to grow to seek wisdom in every moment, to let each experience shape you into the undeniable force you were born to be. Hill taught that the habit of learning is the hallmark of those who rise above the ordinary, those who see every trial as a classroom for the soul. Think of Benjamin Franklin, a man whose humble beginnings and early failures didn't stop his ascent. He didn't seek the crowd's applause. He sought knowledge, turning every setback into a lesson, every question into growth. His undeniable truth moved heaven, leaving a legacy that still shapes the world. You too must embrace this hunger for learning. The battlefield is your teacher, and every moment holds a lesson if you seek it. Study your failures. What truths do they reveal? Reflect on your successes. What made them possible? Seek mentors, ideas, and experiences that challenge your soul. The need to be liked may whisper that you're not enough, but learning proves it wrong, building the wisdom to claim your destiny. Ask, what is this moment teaching me? How is it sharpening my truth? The answers are there, waiting to guide you closer to a life that demands respect, not approval, a truth that stands alone. Faith is the light that illuminates your learning, your resilience, your decision to be undeniable. It is not blind optimism, but a deep, unshakable trust in your purpose, in the vision that burns within you, in the infinite force that shapes your path. Hill called faith the eternal elixir that breathes life into your dreams, the power that aligns your soul with the universe. When you choose to be undeniable, you plant a seed of faith, and with every act of resilience, every lesson learned, you nurture it, letting it grow into a force the crowd's silence cannot touch. Your destiny doesn't wait for approval. It waits for your faith to rise unwavering and bold. Think of Malala Yousafzai, a girl whose truth, education, justice was attacked by a world that sought to silence her. The crowd didn't always cheer. Danger and rejection loomed large. Yet she chose faith, trusting in her purpose, believing in a truth greater than fear. Her undeniable spirit moved heaven, turning a personal fight into a global call for change. Your faith, too, is a bridge between the visible and the infinite, a force that calls the universe to your side. When you believe, you don't just defy the need to be liked, you become a truth the world cannot ignore. This faith is a daily choice, a recommitment to your decision to be undeniable. It is the courage to trust when the crowd turns away, to believe when the path is uncertain, to act as if your destiny is already unfolding. Speak your purpose aloud. Affirm your truth daily. Live as if your vision is inevitable. This is not delusion. It is the spiritual act of aligning your reality with the infinite potential within you. When you rise with resilience, learn with purpose, and believe with faith, you become a magnet for the impossible, a beacon for the heavens to follow. You are not alone in this fight. Your decision to be undeniable joins you to a lineage of those who stood for truth, those who, like you, chose purpose over popularity, faith over approval. Surround yourself with those who amplify your faith, who share your resilience, who challenge you to learn. Hill's mastermind principle is a sacred alliance, a collective force that turns your decision into a movement. These are your fellow warriors, your co-creators, your brothers and sisters in the spiritual fight. Together you become a tide that shifts the heavens, a force that shapes reality. Your destiny is calling. Rise with resilience, learn with purpose, believe with faith, and watch as heaven moves not just for you, but through you, for the undeniable truth you were born to claim. The battlefield of your life is a sacred forge where the sting of rejection and the weight of silence temper your soul into a truth that cannot be ignored. Your resilience has lifted you. Your learning has guided you. Your faith has lit the way. But it is courage that fuels your fire, persistence, that drives your steps, and a connection to the greater good that makes your truth a force for eternity. Stop trying to be liked. Start becoming undeniable, a presence so rooted in purpose that the crowd's approval becomes irrelevant, a light so fierce it reshapes the world. When you act with courage, endure with persistence, and fight for something bigger than yourself, heaven moves not as a distant force, but as a current surging through your unyielding truth. Courage is the sacred spark that ignites your undeniable essence. It is not the absence of fear, but the choice to stand tall in its presence, to speak your truth when the crowd turns away, to act when doubt screams retreat. The need to be liked will tempt you to shrink, to soften your edges, to trade your purpose for acceptance. But courage is your rebellion, your refusal to let the world's judgment dim your light. Napoleon Hill taught that courage is the bridge between vision and victory, the force that turns a fleeting dream into an undeniable reality. When you choose courage, you align your soul with the infinite, and the heavens rally to your unshakable truth. Think of Rosa Parks, a woman whose quiet courage defied a world that demanded her silence. The crowd didn't cheer when she refused to move. Rejection and danger loomed large. Yet she didn't seek their approval. She chose courage, standing for a truth greater than fear. Her undeniable act moved heaven, sparking a movement that reshaped history. Her courage wasn't about being liked, it was about being true, and the universe answered her resolve. Your courage, too, is a force, a spark that can ignite change, a truth that shines brighter than the fleeting applause of the crowd, calling heaven to your side with every fearless step. Persistence is the sacred rhythm of your courage, the relentless beat that keeps you moving when the battlefield grows weary. Hill wrote that persistence is the cornerstone of all achievement, the choice to stand for your truth, no matter how often the world tries to knock you down. Your destiny doesn't wait for the crowd's approval. It waits for you to keep going, to rise after every fall, to press forward when the silence is deafening. Consider Thomas Edison, a man whose 10,000 failures could have silenced his truth. The crowd didn't always cheer. Mockery and doubt were his shadows. But he persisted, driven by a vision that refused to fade. His undeniable truth moved heaven, lighting the world with his relentless pursuit. You too must forge this persistence. The crowd's approval is a fickle tide, but your truth is a rock, unmoved by their praise or scorntes. There will be moments when rejection feels heavier than hope, when the world's silence tests your resolve. But persistence is not about being wicked. It is about being true. The choice to act one more time, to believe one more day, to stand for your purpose no matter the cost. Every act of persistence, every effort, every refusal to quit is a victory, a signal to the universe that your truth is undeniable. When you persist, heaven moves, aligning the infinite with your steadfast heart, making your purpose a force that cannot be stopped. Your fight is not just for you, it is for the greater good, a sacred thread in the tapestry of humanity's story. When you choose to be undeniable, you connect your truth to a purpose that lifts others, a mission that ripples beyond your own life. Hill's infinite intelligence is a current that flows through those who align their fight with the betterment of the world. Your courage inspires the timid, your persistence strengthens the weary. Your truth lights the way for those lost in the pursuit of approval. To be undeniable is to fight for the hope, the possibility, the change that others need, and in that fight, you become a beacon for the infinite. Consider Muhammad Ali, a man whose truth, justice, faith, authenticity was met with rejection and scorn. The crowd didn't always cheer. He faced exile and condemnation. Yet he didn't chase their approval. He stood for a greater good, persisting through persecution, courageous in his defiance. His undeniable truth moved heaven, inspiring millions to claim their own purpose, to fight for what is right. Your fight, too, is a gift to the world. Every courageous step, every persistent effort, every moment you rise above the need to be liked. It plants a seed of hope, a spark of change, a light that others will follow. This interconnectedness is your sacred strength. You are not alone on this battlefield. Your decision to be undeniable joins you to a lineage of those who stood for truth. Those who, like you, chose purpose over popularity, courage over conformity. Surround yourself with those who amplify your courage, who share your persistence, who see the greater good in your fight. Hill's mastermind principle is a sacred alliance, a collective force that turns your truth into a movement. These are your fellow warriors, your co-creators, your brothers and sisters in the spiritual fight. Together you become a tide that shifts the heavens, a force that reshapes reality with the power of your collective truth. As you stand in this sacred moment, feel the fire of your undeniable purpose. Your courage is your flame, your persistence, your heartbeat, your connection to the greater good, your battle cry. The battlefield is not a place of defeat, but a stage for your triumph, a canvas where your truth paints a destiny the crowd cannot ignore. Every act of courage, every moment of persistence, every step toward the greater good, and it calls heaven to your side, aligning the infinite with your unyielding resolve. Your destiny doesn't wait for the world's approval. It waits for you to live, to fight, to rise. Stop trying to be liked. Start becoming undeniable. Stand with courage. Persist with truth. Fight for the world. And watch as heaven moves not just for you, but through you for the undeniable legacy you were born to claim. The battlefield of your life is a sacred expanse where every courageous step, every persistent effort, every defiance of the crowd's approval carves a truth that echoes through eternity. Your fight is not confined to the fleeting moments of your days. It is a legacy, a radiant ripple that carries your courage, your persistence, your undeniable purpose into the hearts of those yet to come. When you stop trying to be liked and start becoming undeniable, you forge a story that outlives you, a light that burns beyond the shadows of validation, a truth that reshapes the world. Your destiny doesn't wait for the crowd's applause. It waits for the mark you leave, and heaven moves not as a witness, but as a co-creator in the eternal impact of your truth. Your legacy is not built on the shallow sands of popularity or the fragile praise of the crowd. It is forged in the enduring fire of your purpose, in the lives you touch, the truths you defend, the hope you ignite. It is the sum of every moment you chose courage over conformity, persistence over surrender, truth over approval. Your decision to be undeniable is a sacred seed planted in the soil of eternity, growing into a beacon that guides those who follow. Think of Leonardo da Vinci, a man whose relentless pursuit of truth defied the crowd's expectations. He didn't chase their applause, he created, questioned, dreamed. His legacy is not just in his art, but in the spark of curiosity he left behind, a truth undeniable across centuries. Your legacy, too, is a force, a gift that lives in the hearts you inspire, the futures you shape. This legacy begins in the unseen, in the quiet moments when you choose to stand for your truth, despite the crowd's silence. It is in the courage to act when approval is absent, the persistence to continue when the world turns away, the faith to believe in a purpose greater than validation. Napoleon Hill's mastermind principle teaches that your legacy grows when you align with others, when you share your undeniable truth, when you lift those around you. Your decision is not a solitary act. It is a flame that kindles others, inspiring them to claim their own truth, creating a chain of impact that stretches beyond your sight. When you fight to be undeniable, you light a path for others to follow, weaving a tapestry of purpose that time cannot unravel. Consider Mother Teresa, a woman whose truth-compassion service was met with skepticism by a world obsessed with popularity. She didn't seek the crowd's approval. She acted one soul at a time, Her purpose undeniable in its simplicity. Her legacy is not in fame, but in the millions inspired by her truth, the lives transformed by her refusal to be liked over being true. She didn't wait for validation. She moved, and heaven moved through her hands, turning small acts into a global force for love. Your legacy, too, is built in these moments. Every courageous choice, every persistent step, every act of defiance, each one a stone in a monument that will stand forever. The impact of your decision is eternal, a ripple that flows through the ages, touching lives you may never know. When you choose to be undeniable, you tap into Hill's infinite intelligence, a universal force that flows through those who align their truth with a greater purpose. Your courage strengthens the fearful. Your persistence uplifts the broken. Your purpose inspires the lost. You are not just fighting for yourself. You are fighting for the dreamer who needs a spark, the weary who need hope, the world that needs your truth. Every moment you stand firm, every rejection you rise above, every truth you defend. It sends a wave through eternity, shaping futures beyond your imagination. Think of Steve Wozniak, a man whose quiet truth, innovation, ingenuity was overshadowed by a world that craved charisma. He didn't chase the crowd's applause. He built creating tools that changed how humanity connects. His impact lives not in personal fame, but in every life empowered by his work, every dream sparked by his undeniable truth. He didn't wait for approval. He acted, and heaven moved through his creations, reshaping the world. Your impact, too, is in the truths you share, the choices you make, the lives you touch, by refusing to be liked over being true. This eternal nature of your decision is your greatest strength. The battlefield is not a place of endings, but of sacred beginnings, a canvas where your choices create a legacy that outlives you. Hill taught that the universe responds to those who act with definiteness of purpose, who align their fight with a truth that transcends the crowd. When you choose to be undeniable, you become a co-creator with the infinite, a partner in the dance of destiny. Your courage, your persistence, your purpose, they are not fleeting. They are forces that echo through time, shaping the world in ways you cannot yet see. As you fight, hold this truth: your legacy is not a burden but a privilege, a chance to leave a mark that matters, to be a light that guides, to be a story that inspires. Every decision to be undeniable is a verse in that story. Every act of courage, a refrain, every moment of persistence, a melody. You are writing a legacy that will be sung by those who come after you, a testament to a soul that stood for truth above approval. The heavens are watching, waiting for you to act, to persist, to leave a mark that the crowd's fleeting praise cannot touch. Surround yourself with those who amplify your legacy, who share your undeniable truth, who remind you of the impact you were born to make. Hill's mastermind is a sacred alliance, a collective force that turns your decision into a movement. These are your fellow warriors, your co-creators, the ones who walk beside you in the fight for a life of purpose. Together, you become a tide that moves the heavens, a force that reshapes reality. Your destiny is calling, and it will not wait for the crowd's applause. Act with courage. Persist with truth. Leave a legacy that burns bright. And watch as heaven moves, not just for you, but through you for the undeniable purpose you were born to claim. You stand at a sacred threshold. The battlefield is alive with possibility. A space where your truth becomes a force the world cannot ignore. Your mindset is your foundation, your belief, your fire, your clarity, your guide. Your purpose is your call, your discipline, your strength, your action, your rebellion. Your gratitude is your lens, your adaptability, your dance, your resilience, your rise. Your learning is your growth, your faith, your light, your courage, your flame. Your persistence is your rhythm, your legacy, your gift. Together, They are the power that makes you undeniable, the truth that moves heaven. The battlefield of your life is a sacred crucible, where every decision to be undeniable hammers your soul into a truth that resonates through eternity. You stand transformed, no longer the person who once craved the crowd's approval, but a radiant force forged by the fire of courage, the rhythm of persistence, and the light of purpose. Your truth is not just a choice, it is a divine transformation, a rebirth that aligns your heart with the infinite, a force that reshapes not just your destiny, but the world itself. Stop trying to be liked, start becoming undeniable, a presence so powerful that the need for validation fades and heaven moves not as a distant observer, but as a partner in your eternal ascent. Transformation is the sacred alchemy of your decision. It is not about erasing the need to be liked, but about forging a new self, one shaped by the courage to stand alone, the persistence to endure, and the faith to trust your truth. Every moment you chose purpose over applause, action over hesitation, resilience over surrender. You reshaped your soul. You are not defined by the fears that once held you or the approval you once sought. You are defined by your decision to be undeniable, to become the fullest expression of your purpose. Napoleon Hill taught that you are the master of your fate, a sacred call to sculpt a life that reflects your truth, unswayed by the crowd's fleeting cheers. Consider Maya Angelou, a woman whose transformation rose from the ashes of pain and rejection. The crowd didn't always cheer. Trauma, poverty, silence shadowed her path, but she didn't chase their approval. She chose to transform, turning wounds into poetry, fear into courage, doubt into wisdom. Her undeniable truth moved heaven, touching millions with a light that still burns bright. Her transformation was a sacred act, a testament to a soul that claimed its purpose above validation. Your transformation, too, is a force, a journey that reshapes your life and inspires others. A truth that burns through the need to be liked, to reveal the infinite within you. This transformation is fueled by alignment with the infinite, what Hill called the infinite intelligence, a universal current that flows through those who stand for their truth with unwavering faith. When you align your mind with clarity, your heart with courage, your actions with persistence, you tap into a force that transcends the ordinary. This is not mere ambition. It is the spiritual law of creation, the truth that the universe conspires with those who dare to be undeniable. Every act of resilience, every lesson learned, every moment of gratitude, it aligns you with this current, weaving synchronicities, opening paths, bringing your purpose into reality. Think of Elon Musk, a man whose transformation defied a world that often withheld its applause. Rejection, failure, and criticism marked his path, yet he aligned his truth with a vision that pushed humanity's boundaries. He didn't chase the crowd's approval. He persisted, adapted, believed in a purpose greater than himself. His undeniable truth moved heaven through his innovations, his relentless will, his alignment with the infinite. Your truth, too, can move the heavens, aligning your fight with a force that turns your purpose into a reality the world cannot ignore. Alignment demands release, letting go of the need for approval, the weight of comparison, the chains of conformity. Your decision to be undeniable is a sacred vow, a commitment to live as the truest version of yourself. Hill's principle of autosuggestion teaches us to feed our souls with the vision of our purpose, to speak our truth into existence, to act as if our destiny is already unfolding. This is not pretense. It is the spiritual act of aligning your reality with the infinite potential within you. Shed the old self, the one who sought the crowd's praise. Embrace the new, the one who stands, who persists, who transforms with purpose. Your fight is not solitary. The moment you choose to be undeniable, you join a sacred lineage soul who, like you, chose truth over approval, purpose over popularity. Surround yourself with those who amplify your transformation, who share your alignment, who challenge you to rise higher. Hill's mastermind principle is a spiritual alliance, a collective force that turns your truth into a movement. These are your fellow warriors, your co-creators, your brothers and sisters in the fight for a life of meaning. Together you become a tide that shifts the heavens, a force that reshapes the world with the power of your collective purpose. As you stand on this sacred battlefield, feel the power of your transformation. You are not the person who began this fight. Every decision to be undeniable, every act of courage, every moment of persistence has forged you into a vessel of purpose, stronger, wiser, radiant with truth. Your alignment with the infinite is your strength, your connection to a vision that transcends the crowd's applause. You are not just fighting for a dream, you are fighting for a legacy that will live beyond you, a transformation that will inspire others, a truth that will echo through eternity. The heavens are not distant, they are here now within you. Your decision to be undeniable is the spark that calls them to action, the truth that aligns you with the infinite. Every step you take, every rejection you rise above, every lesson you learn, it is a signal to the universe that you are ready, that you are fighting, that you are alive in your purpose. You are not just a warrior. You are a creator, a dreamer, a force of the infinite. Your transformation is your power, your alignment, your guide, your legacy, your gift. Stop trying to be liked. Start becoming undeniable. Stand with clarity. Act with courage. Persist with faith. Transform with purpose. And watch as heaven moves not just for you, but through you for the destiny you were born to claim. You are a sacred force, a truth that cannot be contained. The battlefield is alive with the energy of your purpose, a space where your decision to be undeniable becomes a light that pierces the darkness. Your mindset is your fortress, your belief, your fire, your clarity, your vision. Your purpose is your call, your discipline, your strength, your action, your rebellion. Your gratitude is your lens, your adaptability, your dance, your resilience, your rise. Your learning is your growth, your faith, your light, your courage, your flame. Your persistence is your rhythm, your legacy, your gift, your transformation, your triumph. Together, they are the power that makes you undeniable, the truth that moves heaven, the force that reshapes eternity. The battlefield of your life is a sacred altar where every decision to be undeniable becomes a divine offering, a radiant truth that echoes through the corridors of eternity. You stand at the crescendo of your fight, transformed into a blazing force of purpose, forged by the fire of courage, the rhythm of persistence, and the light of infinite alignment. This is not the end of your journey, but the dawn of your eternal triumph, the moment when your truth becomes a revolution, a beacon that shatters the shadows of approval, a call that awakens the world to what is possible. Stop trying to be liked. Start becoming undeniable, a presence so powerful that the crowd's applause fades and heaven moves not just for you, but through you for the legacy you were born to create. Every theme of your fight converges in this sacred moment, a tapestry woven from the threads of your unyielding truth. Your mindset was the forge where you cast out the need for validation, planting seeds of purpose over the weeds of conformity. Belief was the flame that burned through doubt, fueling your trust in a vision greater than applause. Clarity sharpened your purpose, turning dreams into a vivid truth. Vision gave your fight direction, a call that drowned out the crowd's noise. Purpose was your anchor discipline, your steel action, your rebellion. Gratitude transformed rejection into strength. Adaptability turned obstacles into opportunities. Resilience lifted you from every fall, and learning made every moment a teacher. Faith and courage were your wings, persistence, your heartbeat, legacy, your gift and transformation, your rebirth. These are not fragments. They are the whole of your soul, unified by the power of your undeniable truth. Think of Martin Luther King Jr., a man whose truth, justice, love, equality faced a world that withheld its approval. He didn't chase the crowd's cheers. He stood for a purpose that transcended their praise, acting through fear, persisting through hatred, believing in a dream that moved mountains. His undeniable truth moved heaven, reshaping history, inspiring generations to rise. His legacy lives not in statues, but in every heart he awakened, every soul he empowered, every truth he made undeniable. Your truth, too, is a beacon, a force that can illuminate the world, a light that the need to be liked cannot extinguish. This is your moment to claim that power. You are not bound by the fears that once held you, the rejections that once stung, or the silence that once weighed heavy. You are defined by your decision to be undeniable, by the courage to act, the persistence to endure, the faith to believe in a purpose that outshines the crowd. Hill's infinite intelligence is not a distant force. It is the energy that surges through you when you align your heart, your mind, your actions with your sacred truth. Every choice you make, every moment you rise above the need for approval, every step you take through rejection is a signal to the universe that you are ready, that you are fighting, that you are alive. And heaven responds, weaving miracles, opening doors, aligning eternity with your unyielding resolve. Your fight is not just for you, it is for the world that craves your truth. Your decision to be undeniable is a gift, a ripple that touches lives. You may never meet a spark that ignites purpose in hearts you may never know. Think of Frida Kahlo, a woman whose truth, raw, unfiltered, defiant, faced a world that often turned away. She didn't seek the crowd's approval. She painted her pain, her passion, her purpose. Her undeniable truth moved heaven, leaving a legacy that inspires millions to embrace their own authenticity. Your fight, too, is a canvas, a sacred chance to paint a truth that resonates through time, to create a story that the world cannot ignore. This is the climax of your sacred battle, the moment you embrace your decision as a divine vow, a commitment to live with purpose, to fight with courage, to rise with faith. You are not just a warrior. You are a creator, a dreamer, a force of the infinite. Your mindset is your altar, your belief, your fire, your clarity, your guide. Your vision is your light, your purpose, your call, your discipline, your strength. Your action is your rebellion, your gratitude, your lens, your adaptability, your dance. Your resilience is your rise, your learning, your growth, your faith, your anchor. Your courage is your flame, your persistence, your rhythm, your legacy, your gift, your transformation, your glory. Together, they are the power that makes you undeniable. Stand tall on this sacred battlefield. Feel the fire in your soul, the pulse of your purpose, the strength of your truth. The need to be liked may linger, but it is no match for a heart ablaze with purpose. The crowd may try to dim you, to distract you, to pull you into conformity, but you are not small. You are not insignificant. You are a revolution, a truth, a force that cannot be contained. Every step you take, every rejection you defy, every moment you choose to persist, it is a declaration to the universe: I am here. I am fighting. I am undeniable. And heaven moves not just for you, but through you for the dreamer who needs courage, the weary who need hope, the world that needs your truth. This is your sacred calling. Your decision to be undeniable is not a single act, but a way of being, a commitment to live with clarity, to act with courage, to transform with purpose. You are part of a timeless lineage, souls who, like you, chose truth over approval, purpose over popularity. Surround yourself with those who amplify your fire, who share your vision, who challenge you to be more. Hill's Mastermind is your sacred army, your allies in the spiritual war, your co-creators in a life of meaning. Together, you are unstoppable, a tide that shifts the stars, a force that reshapes reality. The battlefield is yours. The fight is yours. The destiny is yours. Let your life be a testament to the power of a soul that dares to be undeniable. Let your legacy be a flame that never fades, a story that never ends, a truth that guides the way. You are not just fighting for a dream, you are fighting for eternity, for the infinite, for the spark within you that no crowd can extinguish. Stop trying to be liked. Start becoming undeniable. Rise with courage. Persist with faith. Shine with purpose. And watch as heaven moves not just for you, but through you for the world that awaits your truth. This is your moment. This is your fight. This is your triumph. Be undeniable.